Right, okay, so it's quite complicated. It says here, I want ds dt. I want ds dt. What's happening to the surface area over time? And I think I'm going to do it in a really interesting way. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to differentiate this, so I get dv dr. Okay, that 3 drops down, so that cancels, so that's kind of neat, and you should see something here. You should recognize what that is. That is my surface area. Isn't that interesting? So that's my surface area. Now the s dr, that drops down. I get 8 pi r, and I want the s dt. So I need respect to time. I've got this one here. I've got dv dt. So the s dt could be dv dt times, and here I've got to have it as the s dv, don't I? Because then I cancel out there. So I need to find the s dv, and I work out, how do I find the s dv? Well, again, I can't say that word, the s dv. If I look at the s dv, maybe I can find it's ds dr times the r dv. Then I can find that, then I can find, boom, there we go. So the SDR, and I just swap those around. So to get the SDV, what I'm going to do is swap, which one's mine? Swap that becomes 1 over, so it literally is 8 pi r all over 4 pi r squared. Everything nicely cancels down, so I just left with 2 over r. And that's really, really neat. So that's my dsdv, times that by my dv dt. So that's minus, and I know when it says v equals 800. So I've got to work out what is the value of r when v is 800. But in terms of my dv dt, it's really quite nice. So my dv dt, sorry, not my dv dt, my ds dt, that's what I want, isn't it? My ds dt is going to be 2 over r times that, so it's minus 120 over r. Okay, so I now need to find out my r value. And to do that, I'm going to put this into here and see what happens. So first of all, I want to times it by 3. So I get my 800, my lovely white calculator, times it by 3, divide by 4, divide by pi. I get 190.985, that's r cubed. So I want singular r, so I'm going to cube root that to the power of a third. Oh, hello, go back. So I get a radius of 5.788. Now just be careful here, I don't want to lose that, so I'm going to do minus 120. So negative 120 divided by the answer equals, I get 20.8, negative 20.8. And that is my answer, negative 20.8 millimeters squared per second. So, how did I do that? Well, it is question 10, it is quite complex. I went with just my gut. First I had to understand the questions. It talked about volume, it talked about surface area, I had to find a formula for that. Then I had to work out, I knew dv dt, they said it's minus 60. And then I had to work out what was the question. It said, what's the rate of change of the surface area? So what's the s dt? Now the s dt is going to be dv dt times the s dv. That's good, I got the dv dt, but I don't have the s dv. But I do have these two fellas here, and if I do the reciprocal of that and times it by that, I get the s dv, 2 over r. And you sometimes know questions like this, when it simplifies down like this, you kind of feel like you're on the right track with these sort of questions. So the rate of change of the surface area with respect to time is, in this particular question here, it said dv dt was minus 60, so it's minus 60 times 2 over r, so it's minus 120 over r. So that is the rate of change of the surface area with respect to time. I just had to find the value of r. This is when v is 800, and then just had to rearrange it here to find the value of r, put that on here, and there's my answer.